So, it is starting to look like most of my videos from now on, or at least the ones that I film in my studio, are going to have guests. Artemis, if you knock that pile of books over, we're both gonna die. So today, Artemis and I are talking about all of the books that I got this month. I got a lot of books. One of the things that I've seen going around Bookstagram a lot, and BookTube, is major book unhauls, because there's a show on Netflix by a woman named Marie Kondo, I'm not sure, in which she says that she only has 30 books. And a lot of people seem to have taken this to heart and seem to think that that means they have to only have 30 books. But I think that that's a misunderstanding of what she said, because she said she has 30 books because that's what brings her joy. But if you read into it, one of the things that she does say several times is you should have as many books as bring you joy. She's not saying you need to get rid of all of your stuff, she's saying that you only should have what makes you happy. And in my case, books are something that make me very happy. So what I'm saying is, if books bring you joy, you should buy them. If they do not bring you joy, don't buy them. So with that little rant over, we'll go ahead and move on to my book haul. This is The Smoke in the Sun by Renee Day. It's the second book in the series. I read the first one back when it first came out. I think I finished it. I'm not even sure I finished the first one. But I really do want to go back and reread the series. Unfortunately, this one doesn't match my copy of Flame in the Mist, which is book 1. And that makes me really sad, because I like when books match. Doll Bones by Holly Black. You guys have heard me talk about this author. I love her. I love everything by her. And this is one of those books by her that I haven't read yet, so I really want to. This is a series. It's still ongoing. Book 2 just came out this month, so we have book 1, The Crowns of Crosswald, and book 2, The Girl with the Whispering Shadow. I've started book 1, but I haven't finished it yet. But I actually went ahead and pre-ordered book 2 because I know how important release day sales are to authors, and especially indie authors. This is another Holly Black book. I'm not super thrilled about Cassie Clare. She's still not one of my favorite people, but Holly Black wrote it, and she talked about it at the event that I saw her at, so I thought I would give it a try. Funny story about this book, I actually got it from a used bookstore. That's where I got like 95% of the books you see here. And I found out after I bought it that my best friend had just sold it to the store the day before I bought it. So it's actually my best friend's copy of the book that she sold to the used bookstore and then I bought from the used bookstore. I'm a talented person. I read the first 3 books in this series. This is the second series, or maybe the second half, of the Selection series by Kara Cass. And I really loved the first 3. This is kind of a follow-up following the daughter of the characters from the first 3. So I thought I'd go ahead and give it a try, and since they had hardcovers, I was even more excited. The Gilded Wolves was Owl Crate's book of the month this month, and it's a gorgeous book. I love it. I've never read anything by this author, and no, I am not going to even attempt to pronounce her name, but I'm super excited about reading this book. It is one of the books that I hope to read next month. This is yet another book that is partially written by Holly Black. It's a collection of short stories. Holly Black wrote one of them, and Kelly Link wrote another. Kelly Link is a friend of Holly Black's, and she said she's an amazing author, so I wanted to check this out because it has both of them in it. Okay, you guys know me, you know I love the Spiderwick Chronicles, so when I found these for like $1 each, I had to get them. This one actually had a super cool cover that has a poster on the inside, and I will show that to you in just a sec. And this is a notebook that you can write in. Whoever had this before me wrote in it on like 3 different pages, but they did it in pencil so I could just erase that. This is the dust jacket poster from the one book, and this is what the other side looks like. As you can see, you can actually pick from 3 different covers if you choose to use it as a dust jacket. But I am super excited about this fairy art, so I'm gonna be flattening it out the rest of the way and probably hanging it up maybe down here in my studio. Next up, we have 2 of Rick Riordan's books. This is the first book in the Kane Chronicles, which is the series I think he wrote right after Percy Jackson and the Olympians. I loved Percy Jackson, but I have literally never read any of his other books, so I want to get around to reading those. And this right here is a guide to Percy Jackson. I think I might already own it, but it was $1 and it still has all of these character cards in it. So if I do already own it, keep an eye out. I will be doing a giveaway on my Instagram. This was Faye Crate's book this month. It's a Buffy the Vampire Slayer novel slash sequel. I believe it comes after Buffy, but confession time, I have never actually watched Buffy, even though it is my mother's favorite television show. My mom always thought it was hilarious because the woman who plays Buffy, everyone always sees her in other shows and they're like, oh my goodness, look, it's Buffy! But when I see her in other shows, I go, Mom, look, it's Daphne! Because I remember her from the Scooby-Doo movies that were directed by James Gunn. Fun fact about those movies, the first one, the one that's on the island, was originally going to be rated R, and they actually had to go back in later and CGI to cover up the boobs on some of the women when they decided they didn't want it to be an R-rated movie. This is a book that I've never actually heard of before, but I stumbled across it at a bookstore, and it's illustrated, and it's gorgeous. It's about a ninja cat. Some of the art in it really reminds me of the Spiderwick Chronicles. It's just so cute and I cannot wait to read it. My cat is really determined to knock these books over. I'm beginning to think this studio is a mistake. I can't get the cats to stay off the table. Shadow Scale is the second book in the Serafina duology that now has a follow-up book called Tess of the Road. Usually I try to get hardcover books, but I got this one in paperback because the hardcovers, they switched covers partway through, and so they don't match. So I've decided that this series I'm probably going to be collecting in paperback. Last, and especially not least, we have The Wicked King by Holly Black. This is the Owl Crate version. This is the one that I bought at the signing. They're both signed, but this one's personalized to me. I read this book like within 2 or 3 days of the release, and I loved it. So that's my book haul this month. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day, and don't forget to like and subscribe.